You sit there right now, staring at your screen, and I want you to ask yourself something brutal, something raw. When was the last time you actually won? Not posted about winning, not talked about grinding, not captioned some sunset with hustle quotes. When was the last time you looked at yourself and knew, without question, that you showed up when it hurt, that you kept moving when every cell in your body was screaming to stop? Because here's what nobody tells you. Your mind isn't just some abstract concept floating around in philosophy books. Your mind is a battleground, and every single day, there's a war happening inside your skull that determines whether you rise or rot, whether you build or break, whether you become the man you promised you'd be or just another ghost haunting his own potential. Most people walk around with minds that are actively sabotaging them, and they don't even know it. They've spent years training themselves to quit, to fold, to find the exit sign the moment discomfort walks through the door. They've programmed themselves to reach for the phone when they should reach for the weights, to choose the warm bed when they should choose the cold dawn, to pick comfort over confrontation, safety over strength, the easy lie over the hard truth, and they wonder why their life feels like a cage they can't escape. Let me tell you what normal looks like in this world. Normal is hitting snooze 5 times and calling it self-care. Normal is spending 3 hours scrolling through other people's highlight reels while your own dreams collect dust. Normal is talking about what you're going to do someday while today slips through your fingers like sand. Normal is watching men half your talent build empires because they refuse to accept normal. Normal is making the same excuses your father made, his father made, passing down weakness like it's a family heirloom. Normal is being angry at successful people because it's easier than being honest with yourself. Normal is dying at 25 and waiting until 75 to be buried. You think that voice whispering just this once is your friend? That internal negotiation telling you to skip today, start Monday, take it easy, you've earned a break. That's not wisdom, that's sabotage. That's decades of conditioning designed to keep you small, manageable, predictable. Every system around you, every algorithm, every advertisement, every piece of content engineered to keep you distracted once you weak. They want you dependent on likes, views, validation from strangers who don't know your name. They want you outraged about things you can't control so you never focus on the things you can. They want you comfortable enough to keep consuming but uncomfortable enough to keep seeking. They've built a machine designed to extract your attention, your energy, your life force and leave you with nothing but empty dopamine hits and a nagging feeling that you're wasting your existence. And here's the part that should terrify you. You weren't born like this. You weren't born reaching for your phone the second you open your eyes. You weren't born avoiding hard things. You weren't born choosing the path of least resistance. You were trained, slowly, subtly, day by day, choice by choice, until weakness became your default setting. Until comfort became your god. Until the person staring back at you in the mirror became someone you don't even recognize. But here's the truth that can save you. That weak version, the one who hesitates, who procrastinates, who makes excuses, that's not who you are. That's who you became to survive a world that rewards submission. Now you need to become someone built to conquer. And the only way to do that is to train your mind like your life depends on it. Because it does. You don't build mental strength when the sun is shining and life is easy. You build it in the furnace, when it's 5 in the morning and your bed feels like paradise, when your muscles are screaming and your brain is negotiating surrender, when that alarm goes off and every rational part of you says 5 more minutes won't hurt. That's the moment. That's where champions separate from casualties. Not in the bright lights and applause. Not when motivation is high and momentum is strong. In the dark, in the cold, in the moments when quitting would be so easy that no one would even blame you. When your friend texts at midnight asking if you want to grab drinks and you have to wake up at 5. When it's raining and cold but your training doesn't negotiate with weather. When you're exhausted but you promised yourself you'd write those pages, make those calls, do that work. When everyone else is choosing easy and you choose hard. When the comfortable option is right there, obvious, acceptable, and you walk past it toward the thing that terrifies you. That's where you build the mind that will carry you through hell when hell inevitably comes knocking. Because it will come. Life will test you. Not once. Not with warning. It will hit you with the death of someone you love, with the collapse of something you built, with betrayal from someone you trusted, with failure so massive you can taste the humiliation, with rejection that cuts to your core, with fear so paralyzing you forget how to breathe. And in that moment, when the world is on fire and chaos is everywhere, your mind will either save you or bury you. And which one it does depends entirely on the work you did before that moment arrived. Look at the men who've walked through fire and come out forged. Dwayne Johnson wasn't born The Rock. He was born into struggle. His family evicted. $7 in his pocket. Football dreams shattered. Sitting in a car he could barely afford, wondering if he'd ever amount to anything. He could have stayed there, could have blamed circumstances, could have pointed to his broken family, his empty wallet, his closed doors. But he didn't train his mind to see obstacles. He trained it to see fuel. For in the morning, not 4:30, 4. While the world slept, he was in the gym building the body that would become iconic. But more than that, he was building the mind that doesn't negotiate. When Hollywood said no, he didn't cry. He trained harder. When they said he was too big, too different, too much, he became more. Scripts while others partied. Preparation while others coasted. Discipline while others made excuses. He didn't just lift weights. He lifted his entire bloodline out of poverty. Every rep was a promise. Every set was a declaration. Every workout was proof that where you start doesn't determine where you finish. $7 became 7 figures. Not because the universe owed him. Not because opportunity knocked. Because he kicked down every door in his way and built his mind into a weapon that couldn't be stopped by rejection, failure, or doubt. He trained like his life depended on it because it did. His family's future depended on it. His legacy depended on it. And he understood something that weak men never grasp. Your mind is either a weapon or it's a liability. And you get to choose which one you build. Your mind is a muscle. Read that again. Your mind is a muscle, and like any muscle, it atrophies when neglected and grows when challenged. Most people are walking around with mental muscles so weak they can't handle a bad comment on social media. They can't handle someone disagreeing with them. They can't handle a day without validation. They can't handle silence. They can't handle discomfort. They can't handle being alone with their own thoughts. Because they've spent years feeding their minds garbage and wondering why they feel like garbage. You scroll for 3 hours, your mind grows weak. You binge shows instead of building skills, your mind grows weak. You avoid difficult conversations, your mind grows weak. You choose the comfortable lie over the uncomfortable truth, your mind grows weak. You let other people's opinions dictate your actions, your mind grows weak. Every single day, every single choice, your mind is either growing stronger or growing weaker. There is no neutral. There is no maintenance mode. You're either building or you're breaking. When you train your mind properly, something shifts. You stop reacting to life like a leaf in the wind. You stop being controlled by your emotions. You stop letting circumstances determine your state. You start commanding your internal world. Someone disrespects you, you don't explode. You pause. You choose your response from a place of power, not emotion. Problem hits, you don't panic. You assess. You strategize. You execute. Pressure builds, you don't crumble. You compress into something harder, sharper, more dangerous. You develop what I call operational coldness. Not cold like heartless, not cold like you don't care, cold like precise, cold like a surgeon, cold like you see the situation clearly without the fog of emotion distorting your vision. You stop making decisions based on how you feel and start making them based on what must be done. You stop living reactively and start living strategically. You become the kind of man who walks into chaos and brings order, who faces uncertainty without flinching, who stares at insurmountable odds and gets to work anyway. You build psychological armor, mental calluses, the kind of internal fortitude that can't be shattered by criticism, rejection, or temporary failure. Because you've already been there. You've already faced the voice that says you're not good enough. You've already sat with the fear. You've already walked through the fire of self-doubt and come out knowing that you're stronger than the pain. You become unbreakable, not because you're superhuman, because you trained for this, because you prepared your mind for battle while everyone else was preparing their excuses. But how? How do you actually build this? Because motivation videos are beautiful, but they mean nothing without execution. So here's your blueprint, your daily war, the mental gym that will forge you into someone unrecognizable to the person you are today. First, rise before the world stirs. 5 in the morning, not 5:30. 5. I don't care if you're tired. I don't care if it's cold. I don't care if you only got 4 hours of sleep. The morning belongs to warriors. While the weak sleep in, trading their potential for comfort, you claim the sacred hours. You sit in silence. You plan your day. You visualize your battles. You win the morning, you win the day. You lose the morning, you spend the rest of the day playing catch-up. The alarm goes off, you move. No negotiation. No 5 more minutes. Your feet hit the floor because you've trained your mind to obey your commitments, not your comfort. Second, seek discomfort like it's medicine, because it is. Ice baths, cold showers, difficult conversations you've been avoiding, asking for what you want, saying no when you want to say yes, doing the thing that scares you. Growth lives on the other side of comfort. Every single time. The man you want to become is forged in the fires of discomfort, so run toward it. When something makes you uncomfortable, that's your signal. That's where the work is. That's where you grow. Your body wants warm water? Take cold. Your mind wants easy? Choose hard. Your ego wants approval? Risk rejection. Train yourself to move toward the thing that makes you flinch. Third, starve the noise. Feed the focus. Your phone is a weapon designed to fragment your attention into 1,000 useless pieces. Social media is a drug that gives you the illusion of connection while leaving you hollow. Endless scrolling is stealing your life 1 minute at a time. Cut it. Ruthlessly. Delete the apps if you have to. Put your phone in another room. Build boundaries like your sanity depends on it, because it does. Replace noise with silence. Replace consumption with creation. Replace other people's thoughts with your own. Sit with yourself. Think. Plan. Process. Let your mind get quiet enough to hear the truth. Fourth, build your vessel. Your body and mind aren't separate. They're one system. A weak body breeds a weak mind. A disciplined body breeds a disciplined mind. You can't have mental toughness while your body is falling apart. So train, not for Instagram, not for likes. Train because your physical state directly impacts your mental state. The discipline it takes to show up in the gym when you don't feel like it is the same discipline that shows up when life tests you. The strength you build lifting weights translates to the strength you need when life puts weight on your shoulders. Forge your body into a weapon. Your mind will follow. Fifth, consume wisdom, not garbage. What you feed your mind becomes your thoughts. Your thoughts become your actions. Your actions become your life. Stop feeding yourself reality TV, celebrity gossip, outrage bait, and mindless entertainment. Start feeding yourself books that challenge your thinking, podcasts that expand your knowledge, content that makes you better. Every single day, spend time consuming something that makes you sharper, wiser, stronger. Read philosophy, study history, learn psychology, understand business, master your craft. Your mind is either growing or dying. Feed it like it matters. Sixth, examine your battlefield at dusk. Before you sleep, review your day like a general reviewing battle footage. What did you win? Where did you fail? What lessons emerged? What patterns are you noticing? Where are you weak? Where are you strong? What needs to change tomorrow? This isn't about shame. This is about awareness. You can't fix what you don't acknowledge. You can't improve what you don't measure. Write it down. Track your progress. Hold yourself accountable. Plan your next day like it's a military operation. Because it is. Then repeat. Every single day. Without negotiation. Without exception. Because here's what separates the men who transform from the men who talk about transformation. Consistency. Not when you feel motivated. Not when conditions are perfect. Every single day, regardless of circumstances, you execute. Rain or shine. Tired or energized. Motivated or empty. You show up. You do the work. You honor the commitment you made to yourself. Because that commitment is the only thing standing between you and mediocrity. Every day you don't train your mind, the world trains it for you. And the world wants you soft. It wants you distracted, dependent, controllable. It wants you scrolling instead of building, consuming instead of creating, following instead of leading. It wants you just comfortable enough to keep you docile but just uncomfortable enough to keep you seeking their solutions. Break free from that. Take control of your programming. Build the mind that serves your mission, not their agenda. Train your mind like it's life or death because one day it will be. Not metaphorically, literally. When you're facing bankruptcy and the easy option is to give up. When someone you love dies and the temptation is to drown in grief. When your business collapses and rebuilding seems impossible. When betrayal cuts deep and trust feels foolish. When rejection piles up and belief in yourself wavers. When the diagnosis comes back bad and hope feels distant. Your mind will either be your rescue or your grave. And which one it becomes depends entirely on the training you did before that moment arrived. Most men break because they never prepared for impact. They trained their bodies, they built their careers, they accumulated stuff, but they never built the one thing that actually matters when life gets ugly. Mental fortitude, the ability to take a hit and keep moving, to face the abyss and not blink, to stare at impossible odds and say, watch me. That's not something you can fake. It's not something you can buy. It's something you earn through daily discipline, through choosing hard when easy is available, through building mental calluses one uncomfortable decision at a time. So look in the mirror right now. Look at yourself without the filters, without the excuses, without the lies you tell yourself to feel better. Ask yourself one brutal question. Am I mentally strong enough to survive myself? Because your real enemy isn't out there. It's not the economy. It's not your circumstances. It's not your past. It's not the people who doubted you. Your real enemy is the softness you've allowed to grow inside you, the weakness you've justified, the comfort you've chosen, the discipline you've avoided, the potential you've ignored. You can change that, starting right now. Not tomorrow, not Monday, not next month when conditions are better. Right now. This moment. Make a decision that the man you've been is not the man you're becoming. Decide that comfort is no longer acceptable. Decide that easy is no longer an option. Decide that you will train your mind with the same intensity warriors train for combat. Because your life is combat. Your dreams are under attack every single day by distraction, doubt, and mediocrity. And you're either strong enough to defend them or you're not. Build discipline. Build focus. Build fire. Not because it feels good. It won't. Not because people will understand. They won't. Not because it's popular. It isn't. Build it because the man you're becoming demands it. Because your future self is depending on you to do the work today that makes his life possible tomorrow. Because every hard choice you make today is an easy life later. Every easy choice you make today is a hard life later. If you made it this far, you're not average. Average quit 10 minutes ago. Average doesn't have the attention span for truth. Average is comfortable with comfort. But you're still here. You're reading these words. Which means somewhere inside you, there's a warrior trying to break free. A champion suffocating under layers of excuses and hesitation. A king trapped in the prison of mediocrity. Let him out. Train your mind like the weapon it was meant to be. Build the internal fortress that can't be shaken by external storms. Become the kind of man who doesn't break under pressure but becomes the pressure. The kind of man who walks into the room and changes the energy. Who faces the impossible and makes it look inevitable. Who takes the hits and keeps moving forward like pain is just information, not a stop sign. Your mind is either your greatest weapon or your worst enemy. You decide which one you build. You decide whether you rise or rot. You decide whether you become the man you promised you'd be or just another cautionary tale about wasted potential. The choice is yours. The work is waiting. The war is now. Train like it matters. Because it does.